What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Teabag Gibbon here as ever. A little match, team deathmatch I should say, on Infected, and I just wanted to talk about a couple of things. Now, as I mentioned in my last video, I have recently acquired a PS4, and I thought I'd try out Black Ops 3 on the PS4 just to see what I thought to it. Before I really kind of kick off with this commentary, I am going to prefix this by saying that I am by no means a beast player. I don't go absolutely ham and do 30 for 2 or whatever. I'm generally just your average casual player. Which brings me neatly on to my first topic. One of the things that I've noticed in this game, and it's been kind of highlighted by another YouTuber, an Apocalypse, actually highlighted this I think a few days ago, is that the playstyle seems to have changed quite drastically. We now have a situation where we have people that corner camp quite regularly speaking. They do it consistently and it's quite difficult, and the thing that you find annoying is I don't know about anybody else, but I tend to find that if I get killed by a camper, I tend to lose my rag and I keep trying to hunt down the camper when I find out that all he's done is literally just changed corners to then take me out. Note to self, shouldn't really talk about camping while I'm stood in a building during a video. But anyways, one of the things that, one of the other things I wanted to sort of briefly talk about, and the thing that I've noticed that's really kind of started to annoy me at great lengths, is the map rotation on this game is really bizarrely appalling. Vonderhat really needs to look into changing the map block system. Now, I remember in some of the other games where you can only realistically do a map twice and then it changes over to another map. You've got things like the map Combine. Once you get into Combine, I think Thunder mentioned this recently as well, you get into Combine, and if you do get into Combine, you are stuck there for probably the best part of 10 to 15 games. But then even when you jump out of that lobby and try and get into another lobby, you find that the rotation is still exactly the same on Combine. I was lucky to get into Infected. I completely forgot that this map existed in this game, to be honest with you, because the map that everybody seems to play so much is obviously Combine. It is a really, really good map. I do enjoy it, but when you're playing it for like the 15th time, it does generally tend to be very annoying, shall we say. The next sort of little thing that I just wanted to briefly touch on is the matchmaking process in this. Now, I'm a fresh account on the PS4, so I'm generally a low level. I think I'm only about I think I'm up to about 12 now. I just like I say, play the game really casually. But I think I consistently this evening played maybe 4 or 5 games where we lost them quite consistently, pretty much every single game. But what I was finding is that there were like 4 or 5 players on my team that were like going 5 and 20 or 6 and 12, and they're all going like double negatives and stuff like that, which just gives you no option whatsoever at all to even try and win the game. And that's going to be demonstrated when we get to the end of this gameplay here. It's just that I know there is no skill-based matchmaking, allegedly, but what I know for sure definitely does happen is that when the lobby sorts itself out, i.e. you get into the lobby, it's actually at that point where it sorts itself out, so it puts itself into different variants, so you'll tend to find that you end up with all the scrubs and everything and you can't do anything. Now, I know that they do this to try and make the game a little bit more even for everybody else, so everybody can try, in inverted commas, to enjoy the game, which is fine. I get that to a certain degree. However, we all have to start somewhere when we're playing an online shooter. Now, I really started playing online shooters when I was probably more Modern Warfare 2. The original CODs that I used to play them PC based only quite a few years ago when we used to get together and have network gaming days. Now, when I used to play Modern Warfare 2, it took me a good 6 months to get anywhere decent at the game. I used to consistently get my arse handed to me. I was happy if I just got a UAV, for example, before I kind of got going on. But now, I'm an alright player, like I said. I prefixed it at the start. I ain't a beast player. I ain't somebody that's going to rack up ridiculous kills and have like a 2 to 3 KD or anything like that. I think my KD in this is like 1.24. I am strictly a casual player. But as I said, you get into certain games on TDM and you just tend to find that you'll end up getting put with, or people that go really, really negative, which just makes it absolutely impossible. And then you've got people that are camping in corners, which just make it even more difficult for you to even attempt to win a game. I like to run and gun. I like to try and rush my way around the game, which is probably going to get me killed more often than not, which is fine. I understand that. I don't have any issues with that. But what I need to see happening a little bit more is a little bit more realistic kind of matchmaking. So the team as a whole has an advantage, that it doesn't just put the person with the highest score in the lobby with all the really crap people, or the group of people that have decent scores. It puts them into a lobby with a load of naff people. Now, I am now going to say that I do love this game. I really enjoy it. I've really enjoyed the campaign. I do like the online section of it. I think that's obviously what everybody plays it for. But with that being said, you know, that's why I tend to sometimes find myself playing hardcore a lot more often than just playing normal core. Mainly because you can deal with the deaths a little bit easier, because you know that you start with basically 2 health and you one shot and you're dead pretty much. Although I have noticed recently that the hit markers in hardcore have started to make themselves known a lot more. And the connections are still a little bit funky, still a little bit off point where they need to be. From what I understand, it was always supposed to be based on connection, but I have found recently that I've gotten into certain lobbies where people are literally moonwalking across, but they get the better advantage against you. Now, the thing that's annoying about that, it's always the case, you're always going to get lack of compensation for somebody that's playing on their Tesco dongle Wi-Fi. So now with my PS4, I'm actually connected via Wi-Fi, and my connection on the PS4 has been nice. Gravity spike. My connection with the PS4 and Wi-Fi has been brilliant. It's not been that bad in terms of my own connection, but you come up against people that are like 2 bar in or 3 bar in, and you just get absolutely destroyed. They always get the compensation for that, and it's really annoying. It's like they get penalised for having decent. Well, you get penalised for having decent internet, which again is something that's just very, very frustrating for me, anyways. Personally, it's something that I find frustrating, but I do still enjoy the game. I like to persevere with it. For me, it's a way to kick back and have a bit of fun and enjoy myself and just kind of relax from sort of stressful times. The ending to this game's not too bad. I kind of went off a little bit on it, just in terms of trying to pull it back as best as I could. That guy should have killed me, but never mind. But yeah, just those little things that would just annoy me. I'd just like to see better matchmaking. I'd like to see more kind of realistic hit detection on that basis, particularly in normal core, because it just gets... There you go, corner camper. Fucking arsehole. You just get really annoyed with it all, in terms of the connection, in the way that they can kind of temporarily ruin your game unbelievably. But this gameplay's coming to an end here. Now, what I want you to check out at the end of this game is just check out my team's scores. Now, again, as I said, I ain't a beast player by any stretch of the imagination. I can hold my own. I can do okay. But the frustration of being a single player, if you ain't partied up, you're going to get stuffed, basically, quite drastically. If you aren't the type of person that can go like 40-2 or whatever, just produce ridiculous scores and having, you know, bringing out raps for days and stuff like that. But just check out my teammates' scores on this. Now, I came top of the board. I think I had 19-11 or 19-10. But I had 3 players on my team: 6-23, 7-11, and 6-10. How am I ever going to win a game when it ends up like that?